Today's word, I want to talk about self-discipline. It's a word that not everybody likes, but it's necessary if we're going to accomplish everything that God has for us. That word disciple comes from the word discipline. So we as believers should be the most disciplined people on the earth. So let me read 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24 and 27. Listen to what the Apostle Paul said about discipline. He says, "Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win." All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away. But we do it for an eternal prize. So I run with purpose in every step. I'm not just shadow boxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified. And this is the Apostle Paul, who had a powerful prayer life, who knew the word, and he said, I discipline my body and bring it under control. So if he had to discipline himself, how much more we as believers need to discipline ourselves in every area of our lives. Discipline ourselves in prayer, discipline ourselves in reading the word, discipline ourselves in our finances. In every area of our lives, we need to be self-disciplined, and this is something that no one can do for you. You have to be disciplined on your own. I can't be disciplined for you. I can train you, I can teach you how, but you need to be disciplined on your own. And that's why we see a lot of Christians that are not fulfilling their purpose in God, because they lack discipline. And that's why Paul here says, I run with purpose every step. So in the races, they practice, they train themselves, they prepare themselves for the athletic games. And here he also says, I am not shadow boxing. In other words, I'm hitting my target, but in order to do that, you have to be self-disciplined. Listen to what John Maxwell says. He says, the toughest person to lead is always yourself. A lot of people want to lead others, but they can't lead themselves well. And that is the hardest person you will ever lead, is yourself. Because it's easier to tell other people what they need to be doing. At the same time, we are neglecting what we should be doing. It's easier to look at the faults of others and not look at our own faults and our own shortcomings. So if you want God to begin to use you as a leader, start leading yourself well. This is the question you have to ask yourself. If you were not you, and from the perspective of other people, will you follow yourself? In prayer, in the word, are you a model to other people? And I like what he said also, John Maxwell. He says, when we were foolish, we want to conquer the world. When we are wise, we want to conquer ourselves. And this is what separates believers that are mighty used of God and believers that are mediocre, believers that are lukewarm, believers that struggle throughout their Christian life, is because they lack self-discipline. They don't train their body. They just pray whenever they feel like it, or they'll read whenever they have a chance. And if you're going to be great in God and you want the Holy Spirit to flow through you, you have to be self-disciplined. And that's hard to do, but as you do it, you're going to see you're going to get more control over your life. You're going to get more victory, and God's going to use you in a powerful way. So if you want to be a leader and be used of God, learn how to lead yourself well. It's easier to share scriptures with others, but do we apply those scriptures to ourselves? So I encourage you today to be self-disciplined. And that word, like I said, discipline is where we get the word disciple. You know, we're disciples of Christ. We're disciplined people. We train ourselves. We don't allow our sinful nature to do whatever it wants. We are people that are led by the Spirit of God and that are not gratifying the desires of the sinful nature. So that is the word for today. I know many of you are still sleeping, but when you wake up and you watch the rebroadcast, make sure you click the like button or the wow face or the heart, or better yet, just leave a comment and how this word spoke to you on being self-disciplined. God bless and talk to you soon.